Last night, the A's never say die attitude continues as Yoenis Cespedes' 8th inning 2-run shot helped the green and gold to get back in the game. Unfortunately, they could not complete another miracle comeback as Chris Young's blast down the left field line was fouled by inches. There's no question the A's need wins versus a struggling Astros team. They have dominated all season long. And tonight, Jared Parker takes the hill. After a slow start to the season, he has broken out of his sophomore slump and has regained the form we saw in his rookie season. The A's will need to rebound tonight as they look to keep the pressure on the Rangers. The playoff push continues. Game 2, A's-Astros, next. It is team photo day. That was earlier this afternoon, and right now the A's are getting ready to take on the Astros. It's a beautiful Wednesday night for baseball. Jared Cozart, Jared Parker, that is your pitching matchup. A couple of young right-handers as the A's try to bounce back from a tough loss last night. Game 2 of the series, it's the Oakland A's hosting the Houston Astros. You'll see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. You saw the two young starters, Parker and Cozart. Ray, this will be a rematch from July 23rd in Houston. The Astros won that game late, but both guys pitched very well. Very well.
I think from Cozart's standpoint, he won his first start. That was against the Tampa Bay Rays and David Price. So we have seen him actually in his second start. 12 ground ball outs in the game. So he kept the ball down, kept it in the ballpark. And, of course, what we've seen from Jared Parker has been outstanding, considering he started his season 1-4. Remarkably, he has come back and just done a tremendous job. Changeup is important. Fastball very important for him to mix his pitches against a ball club you'd like to hold down offensively.
Big night for Cespedes last night, and he's starting to see better swings from him, Ray. He had 3 line drives last night.
Well, just a matter of time. Great to see him last night because he used the whole field in the first at-bat. Swinging base hit to left field on a fastball down. One of the better ones was to right field. Almost had a triple, decided to stop at second, but a solid double to right field. But what the big one was in the 8th inning. The A's would score 3 thanks to a 2-run shot, a bullet to straightaway left field, and that made it a 3-run 8th inning. The A's could not come back, but great to see Cespedes swing the bat well. We saw what Josh Reddick did in Toronto. Brandon Moss, some of the other power hitters, when they start swinging the bat, it's really going to help the offense.
All right, so the A's need to win tonight. They lost last night, a heartbreaker, 5-4 to these Astros. So game 2 of the series coming up. When we come back to the Coliseum, we'll have lineups. We'll have first pitch. It's the A's and the Astros tonight here on Comcast Sportsnet, California.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box with Jack's really big chicken sandwich combos for only $3.99 plus tax.
A's take the field, Green Tops tonight for Game 2 of this 3-game series. It's the A's and the Houston Astros. Let's check the game time weather. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. Cooler tonight, 71 degrees. But all in all, a very comfortable night. Looks like we may have a little bigger crowd than last night. Not a real big crowd last night.
A little bit over 17 expected night. Steve Finale, Bart, $2 Wednesday. So that's back, and it is Wednesday. Hard to believe coming back on Monday night after a wraparound in Toronto. It seems like this should be Tuesday.
Screws y'all up.
This is Wednesday.
Here's the lineup tonight for the Houston Astros. Robbie Grossman, Brett Wallace, Jose Altuve, and Jason Castro. Chris Carter will DH, Matt Dominguez. Brandon Barnes had a big night last night. LJ Hose and Jonathan Villar.
And Jared Parker has pitched exceptionally well. And you go back to the 23rd of July against the Astros, he'd like to duplicate that. He went 7 innings, gave up just 1 earned run in those 7 innings, pitched extremely well. He did make an error himself for the unearned run, but he's pitched well. He's won his last 2. Knows in the month of August, so he'd like to continue the success in this month.
A's defense looks like this tonight. It has Cespedes, Young, and Reddick in the outfield. Donaldson, Sogard, Callaspo, Moss on the infield. So Sogard playing short tonight. And Stephen Vogt is the catcher. Just an off day for Jed Lowry. So he will watch it tonight. Maybe get some action later. We'll see.
It's Brett Anderson next to him.
That's
supposed to be going down on rehab maybe Saturday to pitch in Sacramento. Might be seeing him in the near future, starting to feel a lot better. It's good to know.
First pitch of the ball game from Jared Parker to Robbie Grossman is a bit low. 244 for Grossman.
First pitch, 7-7.
He had a hit and a walk, and he scored a run last night. So Jared Parker looking for his 9th win of the year. As we mentioned in a pregame show, Parker has not lost since the 22nd of May. That is a stretch of 13 starts.
Oh, he started season 1-4, and last 13 starts, 6-0, sub-3 ERA. Opponent's batting average under 200. So all good for Jared Parker. He'd like to continue tonight, and he just threw actually back-to-back changeups. The second one, or the first one he threw, was a nice changeup. He had Grossman out in front, swinging and missing.
So 2-2 the count to Grossman, the young left fielder. He grounds that one left side. Donaldson quickly to first, and that's out number 1. So Grossman is retired, and that'll bring up Brett Wallace.
Batting in the second position, first baseman, number 29, Brett
The
Wallace.
Brewers helped out the A's last night by defeating the Texas Rangers, and they're winning again tonight. It's Milwaukee 4, the Rangers 2 in the 5th inning.
Had a rain delay, I guess, to start the game tonight.
Yeah.
Big R out there. I didn't know if it was, I guess, P is more for postponement. With it just a 2-game series, I would think they'd want to make every effort to get the game in.
That's right. That's the final of that series. Rangers will be off tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that one. A's 1 game back of the Rangers, even in the loss column. And the A's are currently the number 1 wild card team in the American League. That one dribbled foul. Maybe got a piece of Stephen Vogt. And the count 1-2. Lots of day games today as well, as there's quite a few finals around Major League Baseball. So Jared Parker, this is the month of August, his pitch usage. So it really covers just 2 starts.
That's a big pie. That's a good looking pie.
Yeah.
What can you imagine the 67% of some maybe strawberry rhubarb or something? That'd be pretty good.
I don't know what to say to that, Ray.
I mean, the guys are doing great down there with all those numbers.
You know,
and
I was
pie
thinking
shape.
baseball. I guess your mind is elsewhere tonight, so I'm going to have
It's
to.
like pie, you know. It was something good dessert.
That was a good pitch, and Wallace doesn't agree, but Parker grabbing the outside corner. Maybe a little help.
Tommy Cam will tell us about it. Yep, just a little bit. But I guess Angel Hernandez wanted to give the strikeout call early in the game, and he does it with a pitch that maybe just a little bit off. But you know, if you can get the pitch, stay out there. Might as well just stay there. The hitter shake his head going back to the dugout, but he'll take it.
So here's Altuve hitting in the 3rd spot again tonight. 281 with 4 home runs. 1 for 5 last night. Sogard in the hole, straightens up, and he makes a nice throw. Side retired. A couple of groundouts and a strikeout for Parker in the top of the 1st inning. Alberto Callaspo is going to lead off. He's at second base. Then Smith, Reddick, Cespedes, Moss, Donaldson, Vogt, Young, and Sogard.
As I mentioned, the A's saw this young man on the 23rd of July, the rematch, and pitched well. 7 innings, gave up just 1 earned run. And you look at his 6 starts, or the 5 starts this season, you can tell that he's not given up a lot. He has pitched extremely well, just not a lot of decisions, as he's only 1-0, but one of the starters that pitched and got a lot of ground ball outs and did it with a very good 2-seam fastball, but he can go mid to upper 90s with the fastball.
Grossman, Barnes, Hose in the outfield, Dominguez, VR, Altuve, Wallace on the infield, and Castro is the catcher. So Cozart's ready, so is Alberto Callaspo as he steps in here in the bottom of the 1st. Callaspo, switch hitter, so in the leadoff spot. Cozart's first pitch is in for a strike. The combined numbers for Callaspo, 255. He's 7 for 24 with the Athletics, so that was called a strike, and it's 0-2.
Yes, it was. So now we're even.
It's a wow both ways.
Wow. Castro wants it on the ground.
Strike 3 call. He went with a breaking ball, and Piaspo's called out on strikes.
Castro trying to get him to throw the curveball and the dirt, but a good 12-6 action. And
designated hitter,
I guess the low one, the high one, Piaspo next to bat, better start swinging. Ball came down very sharply.
So 1 out. Here's Seth Smith.
And Cozart pitched against the Athletics in Houston. He had a 30-pitch first inning. He could only get 1 unearned run out of it.
Yeah, he was good. We were impressed. He ended up throwing 115 pitches in that start. But you're right, he's pitched well in every one of his starts. In fact, his major league debut was on July 12th at Tampa Bay, taking on David Price, and he fired 8 shutout innings, got the win, and he had a no-hitter through 6. That was his major league debut. So, pretty good start there. So the Astros very high on this young man for obvious reasons. AL ERA leader since July 12th, and that is the date of his major league debut.
Some good company. King Felix, Yu Darvish, Kuroda having a great season for the Yankees.
3-1 now to Smith with Reddick to follow. Cozart is 6'3", 180 pounds. He's 23 years old, from League City, Texas. That one taps slowly down the first base line, and it just trickles foul.
On July 23rd against the Athletics, he would leave with trailing, and the A's had the lead, but he was good. It's a good cut fastball and down in the zone, as I mentioned. The 12 ground ball outs. But there's a good 12-6 curveball. Another one, and combine that with a mid to upper 90s fastball. Very impressive for the youngster. Talking to Eduardo Perez, who's a bench coach for Bo Porter, I said, how many players do you have right now that are on the opening day roster? And he started naming them. Not a lot.
Castro grabs it, guns it to first, and they just get Seth Smith.
We saw Lyles last night, who did not make the club out of spring training. Last couple of years, still only 22, pitched very effectively last night. Cozart came up, is not start the season. Only Brad Peacock, basically. Castro waited for the ball to come down. He did not go up and get it, but he caught it with the palm up, so he can make the quick transfer and get Seth Smith. Eddie Perez to the right of Bo Porter.
First pitch to Reddick. Well, if any team can afford to try youngsters out, it's the Astros, and why not, right?
And they have done it, and they're continuing to do it until they get it right. And when they do, probably the group of players, the core of players that they have, who play well, great future with the ball club, and watching them build from day one.
It'll be interesting to see what the Astros look like maybe 2 years from now, when they get a whole boatload of good prospects in the minor leagues. And how many of these guys that we see right now will be here in 2 years? Cozart, I'm sure, probably will be.
Jason Castro, the all-star catcher, he did not get in the game in New York, but he was an all-star. Was Altuve, long-term contract. Barnes in center is going to be around. They are who we've seen.
Reddick, a line drive to center field, and that's a base hit. So the first hit in the ball game, and here it is.
I just continue to see the nice swing, the great swing by Josh Reddick. In essence, he is taking what he is given. Fastball down and away. Instead of trying to pull it into the seats, shoots it right back up the middle. Hitters have to realize that while they will hit home runs, and Josh hit 32 last year, hit 5 in 2 games in Toronto, but more times than not, it's going to be good hits, using the whole field. And basically hitting home runs on mistake pitches.
Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. First pitch to Cespedes is in for a strike. We're talking about the Astros, Ray. They've had the #1 pick in the draft 2 years in a row, and they will likely have it again this year. 2 years ago, they took Carlos Correa, an infielder, and this year they took Mark Appel, the pitcher from Stanford. So you take a college pitcher, especially a pitcher that is pitching at what would be an advanced program at Stanford, you would think that it's probably not too far away from the big leagues.
September?
Maybe. I don't know about September, but
yeah,
you know what I mean?
But you're right. I mean, there's no such thing as 500 innings anymore.
No.
All the at-bats, you're good, and especially
Reddick runs, and the ball is reached for, and foul. Reddick had a big jump.
he was inching off first. Cozart never really paid that much attention to him. But the point is that, and if you're a young player on this Houston Astros team, I'd say you want to stay. You don't want to be traded. Of course, Veras was. A few players have been traded already, Bud Norris. But in case of, whether it's Castro, the catcher, Barnes, I mean, you'd like to stay with the system and, first of all, get an opportunity at a young age to play, but then see the club develop into a very good team.
Oh, 2 pitch is hit on the ground hard toward the shortstop, but Jonathan Villar scoops it up, flips to second, side, retire. No score after 1 from the Coliseum. California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Dinner Roaring Camp style is sizzling steaks, a moonlit steam train ride, and singing around the campfire. Second inning, no score here at the Coliseum. It'll be Castro, Carter, and Dominguez for the Astros. First pitch is high from Parker. Parker had a 3-up, 3-down first inning. Bounced off the plate. Sixth inning now in Texas, with the Brewers still leading the Rangers 4-2.
I have to think the National League team, the Brewers, happy to go into Arlington and utilized the DH.
Yep.
This guy is a pretty good pitcher. I don't know if he's our hitter. I don't know if he's pitching in the series, but few National League pitchers are good, but most probably would like to be able to stay in a game, not have to worry about coming out because of a close score and having a pinch hitter. Somebody's happy.
Oh, she is thrilled. Remember when we were in Milwaukee, Ray? The Brewers traded for a left-handed hitter by the name of Juan Francisco, and
right.
he played in that series.
That's right.
Well, Juan Francisco has hit 2 home runs off Matt Garza tonight for the Brewers. They're a big, strong left-handed hitter. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Parker.
And you know, that's the hitter that Bartolo Colon, who pitched against the Brewers. You see a pretty good changeup from Jared Parker, down and in, but great delivery. Looked like a fastball. Castro way out front, swinging and missing on a changeup. But before the game, Bartolo Colon was looking at the lineup and he said, "That guy owns me." It's Francisco.
Yeah.
Didn't even know. It must have been water ball because he hadn't faced him. But he actually had a situation where he kind of pitched around it to get to the next hitter. And after the game, and after he was talking to him on the field, as Bartolo usually does, but he knew, wasn't going to pitch to him, didn't, and maybe Garza should have been thinking about the same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, Matt Garza did not pitch around him. That one is lined to left field. Cespedes on the move. In front of the wall, he's got it. Carter is retired.
So I guess Matt Garza's okay with home runs, but not for safety squeezes. Maybe that's this guy's dangerous. And Chris Carter, as we have seen, he's hit 21 home runs, and every time he elevates, he gets a ball up in the air. You're always concerned that maybe it's going to carry. Last night, a ball left center off the wall. That's a line drive, fortunately caught by Cespedes at the warning track. Strong Chris Carter. He's going to strike out a lot. His average might not be high, but he's got the power. And with the Crawford boxes, could be good.
First pitch strike to Matt Dominguez. 14 home runs, 56 RBIs for Dominguez. A couple of hits last night. Dominguez this year against the A's has hit 4 home runs. He's 11 for 48. He hit that big home run against Grant Balfour that tied the game.
Also got Tommy Malone.
Donaldson has it. Throws in time. 6 up, 6 down for Jared Parker. Bottom of the second coming up. Moss to lead it off. No score. twice this year. Chris Young's been on the wrong side of a reviewed home run. Remember the 29th of April? That was that 19-inning game. Well, it looked like it hit the Overstock.com sign, but it was ruled a triple. And then, of course, last night, well, we all know how that ended up. Controversy. And a lot of people still talking about it today. And if you're still talking about it today and nobody's really sure if it hit the foul pole, then you're probably never going to be sure. I was thinking last night, whoever got that baseball should have looked at it, and if there is a little yellow streak on it, because I would think, Ray, if a baseball hits the foul pole, there's going to be a yellow mark on the ball. Yeah. Would you agree?
I agree, and it's like shoe polish on a ball off your foot.
So who has that baseball from last night is probably the only person that knows for sure. If there's a mark, then it hit it. If there's not, then it did not.
If it's in, you win. Chris Young's against the Angels almost was in. My only thought last night, and I said it post game and still believe it, and that is the rule is in place for a reason, and that is to review close home runs. And I think anytime an umpire has a chance on a ball that's close, questionable, why be at him and say that I saw it all the way, I know I'm right? It takes so much time instead of going back in immediately and saying let's review it. This is what happened when it left the bat, looked like it's a walk-off, kept hooking, and it, I mean, sure, you slow it down, it looks differently. If you're Doug Eddings at third base and you just turn around and you look down the line a couple hundred feet and you make a call and you're adamant saying that no, it's right call, then there's a lot of times lapsed between the time Bob Melvin went out and they finally went in to review it.
So Moss strikes out for the second strikeout for Jared Kozar.
Batting sixth, third baseman, number 20, Josh Donaldson.
So here's Donaldson, 297, 17 home runs. But it certainly had a strange feel to it at the end, because the very next pitch, Young struck out, and just like that, the game was over. Dominguez cannot quite get it, and it is just foul. That's Damon Demuth who called it foul. Dominguez off the line a little bit, and that was just a kind of a high chopper. And remember, if the umpire deems that it went over the bag, fair, then it's a fair ball. It doesn't matter where it lands after it goes past the bag. Boy, that had to be close.
Considering where the ball landed.
Exactly.
And Damon Demuth immediately called it, and he almost kind of looked down there, but he'd already put up his hands before the ball actually hit the ground. But to be that close to the foul line, and it would have had to stay pretty straight without hooking at all.
And I don't want this to sound like a criticism of an umpire, because it's not, but on that call where he's looking and he's trying to determine if the ball goes over the bag fair. I mean, I don't want this to sound wrong, but you're kind of guessing, right? I mean yeah. There's not a line for it to hit. Right. It's just, do you see the ball going over the bag, and do you think it's fair? Well, the ball's up in the air.
Exactly. Yeah, most of them.
That's a very difficult.
Yeah, most of them are on the ground, and they go over the bag low, which makes it easier.
That's right.
But you're right, that ball's a good 10 feet up in the air.
One and two to Donaldson.
Sure, I'm glad the drummers are in right field. It just livens up the place.
Sure does. There's a shot to right field, and Donaldson has a base hit.
Let's see, by the account from last night, that would be the 30th hit for Josh Donaldson to right field. He had 37. Keep it going, drummers. Josh Donaldson able to use the whole field. The pitch outside, he goes with it perfectly.
Batting in the 7th position.
Shooting it to right field, and it started for Josh Donaldson. Keep going back to the Houston series. First road trip, RBI base hit to right field. And while Josh will swing hard and looks at times like he's always trying to pull the ball, that is not the case. So it's a great percentage. I mean, you look at center field and right field for him, that's a great approach.
Here's Vogt, who takes a strike in the outside corner. 269 for Vogt. 14 home runs, or 14 hits, excuse me, and 52 at bats. Vogt getting a little extended playing time.
With the left-hander pitching tomorrow, Derek Norris was taking batting practice today, and he hopes, as well as the skipper Bob Melvin, that he'll be able to play day game after night game with the lefty on the mound. But they will be cautious to make sure, and if he's not able to catch, then they will take their time.
That one is lined but foul. Andre John Jaso. He is slowly getting better, but there's really no timetable when he's going to be back.
It's like being on the disabled list, which he is, without the ability to do anything.
Yeah.
No baseball activities, which once the point in time which his concussion symptoms have gone away, then once he starts baseball activities, it's going to take a little while again. Yep. Just like starting spring training all over.
But he's not real close to baseball activities yet. Coco Crisp had a cortisone shot in that sore left wrist yesterday, so it's generally, if you get a cortisone shot, it takes a couple days for
48 hours. Yeah. Let's see. Which part of my body you want to ask?
Yeah,
where I
had a few of those, huh?
Oh, they hurt. If they hit the spot,
big long knee. Oh.
I mean, if the idea is to hit the spot, and when he hits the spot, you know it. Wow.
I've had one in my shoulder, and I can't imagine having a whole bunch of them, because they do go in there and move it around until they hit the spot. Right?
Yeah, until they hear you scream.
And the needle's about 12 inches long.
Yeah, it's moving it around. Hey, find the spot, Doc. Give me scream right now, so you stop.
So it hurts, and then when they find the spot, it really hurts.
But it works. Ball came up and hit Angel Hernandez. I'm not going to be an umpire, but if I were, I would find my way right behind the catcher. If the catcher goes, I go, and I'm going to let him protect me every place I do.
Yeah, I agree.
How about this move by the pitcher? There's a runner at first base. Stepped off, looked at second. Maybe he thought Donaldson's going to be running, but it's unusual. At least he stepped off. That's the key. If he had just spun, there's nobody there. He can't make a throw to vacant base.
Vogt shoots one high and foul left side.
It's a big walk for him last night in the 9th inning. 10-pitch at bat for Vogt to walk in front of two possible home runs. One by Sogard that went to right field, came up short, and then Chris Young just inches. Talking to Dave Tremblay, and he said, playing in Houston, that's 2 home runs, because Sogard's would have been a home run in right field, and the Crawford boxes would have helped Chris Young.
Yeah,
because it's 15 feet shorter to left field. And it would never have hooked that quickly. But where you're playing, and of course the A's are here.
Wallace juggles, and now he's got to pick it up and hustle back to get the out at first, and he does. So 2 outs now. Donaldson at second base.
This is kind of fortunate for Wallace that he was holding the runner. Bob knew he had plenty of time to get Vogt coming down the line. But there's a case where holding the runner might have helped Wallace, who did not get the big jump off first base. And after muffing it a little bit, able to recover quickly enough. But if he is playing normal position, that might have been a ball hooking past him down to the corner. Try to go for the hole between first and second, but sometimes when the ball is hit down the line, you're hoping there's nobody being held and have an easy double.
So first pitch to Young is cued off the end of the bat, foul. So Chris Young hitting in the A spot, 192, 10 homers, 32 runs batted in. So runner in scoring position for the Athletics. The off-speed pitch from Jared Kozar. That's Lowe, the guy who had an emotional roller coaster in the 9th inning, but he got the save last night. Not close, and to the backstop, but it bounces right back to Castro, and his throw is late. So Donaldson took off right away, hustling, and he had to because Castro got a break with the ball coming right back.
That's a good point. And think about Josh Donaldson with 2 outs. He knows that he can get the bigger jump, bigger lead off second, and Castro reacted perfectly with the ball coming back to him. Because Josh Donaldson, had he not been running and getting a good jump, he might have been out. It's a play you don't see often, that catcher is able to turn around and see the ball right there waiting for him and make him a strong throw.
So 2-1. It looked like it had a little cut to it even.
Cut fastball, you're right. And that's a great pitch in a fastball count. Hitter might be looking for a four-seam. Look at this boom, but right at the end.
Wow.
The idea of the cut, especially one thrown that hard, takes you off the sweet part of the bat towards the end. That just completely missed the bat.
Well, lots of fastballs.
Those are the 2 and 4 seam plus a cutter. So there's 3 variations of the fastball, and that's why the percentage is so high. We've already seen the 12-6 curveball.
And there's a line drive right at VR. Side retired. Boy, that ball's a shot. So Donaldson stranded at third, and we're scoreless after 2. hits last night from Eric Sogard, who was playing second base. Tonight he's at short. But he's a very good defensive second baseman. He showed it last night.
Well, you get compliments from the visiting third base coach. Dave Tremblay was talking about Sogard and his defense. He said that was special. Special night.
Sogard right on cue makes a nice twisting play.
Wow, that is a great play because you turn around, you don't know how hard the ball is hit, which way to turn around. Got jammed, did Barnes, and Sogard just reached back. Made a very strong throw to end last inning, or the first inning that is, on Altuve. He had to get up on top and make a stronger throw, and going over to shortstop, he has the arm strength to play short. But after playing the majority of his games at second base, it's a much longer throw from short. Pitchers always appreciate good defensive plays.
Here's L.J. HOU, who takes a strike. HOU's the young right fielder. And he's got a base hit to left field. Nice swing by HOU, huh, Ray? Looks like he
absolutely
a line drive swing.
And that was an 0-1 pitch, and very aggressive. Try to go inside. See the setup by Vogt. Fastball about belt high, and the nice turn, quick hips, and got the top hand. Shooting the ball. When your third baseman doesn't move, you know it's hit hard.
Yeah.
Donaldson did not move.
So that's the first hit in the game for the Astros. Parker had retired the first 7. Here's VR. Donaldson creeping in on the grass. VR shows bunt, and the pitch is inside. Oh for 4 last night for the young shortstop. Astros will run. They have the 4th most stolen bases in the American League. They had a couple steals last night. They have 86 on the year, so they're not afraid to start a runner. They're 11th in the league in home runs hit.
Well, Bo Porter might be doing something in August that you see teams do in spring training in March, and that is see what your players can do.
Yep.
Swing 3-0, steal. But Bo knows that he's been given a lot of young players and trying to develop a good major league team. What Perez says, they're loaded in the minor leagues. A lot of great players in their system, which bodes well for the future of this organization.
Remember the beginning of the year, Ray, they were striking out at just a record pace. Now they have settled that down a little bit. They still have the most strikeouts in the American League, but they were, I mean, it was 10, 11 strikeouts every game. That was early on in the month of April.
He had his problems, Brett Wallace.
Three and 1 the count. See, Hose has a very big lead. He's not running, and it's a swing and a miss, and VR looked like he may have swung at ball 4.
Got a fastball away from him and tried to pull it. And when you open up as much as he did, kind of lose sight of where the pitch is. Not only was it ball 4, but should have been thinking about left field. Which might change the mind of Bo Porter, whether he's going to have Hose running and say he's going to.
There he goes, and the pitch is lined toward left. Cespedes hustling back, still going back, makes the catch. Hose gets back to first, and that's out number 2.
A nice recovery by the young man after swinging very long and big. Takes another pitch that's up a little bit and goes very nicely to left field. Cespedes playing shallow, got a great read and broke back, able to make the play. Best to play shallow especially with a non-power hitter, but have to be able to go back, and with his speed, he can do it.
So here's the top of the order, and Robbie Grossman. I was watching Grossman hit last night, Ray, and he really wraps that bat around his head as he's getting ready. Because that's fine to do. You see a lot of hitters do that. Cespedes does it. But you better get it going. And you watch, you'll see what I'm talking about. See how the bat head is pointing almost toward the pitcher.
Yeah.
Well, that's a long ways to get that bat back around.
Julio Franco probably the only one that could really do it. He'd point it straight up. He wouldn't waggle it. He'd point it and then get the bat hit through. But when
see, look at that.
Yeah, pitcher catcher see that, he start thinking inside. Yeah. Can he catch up to a fastball inside? Because if it's all timing, he straightens it out, which for him is good because he does all the waggling, and then need to get the bat back in a position where he can drive the ball, especially if it's inside.
But you better have some bat speed if you're going to do that. I'm not sure Grossman is a big home run hitter. Certainly doesn't look like it. And the minor league numbers don't show that he is. Runner goes, and the pitch is fouled back. See, seeing him foul a lot of pitches off that way. I thought if guys were getting fastballs down the middle and left-handed hitters fouling over the third base dugout, then they probably had to get things going a little quicker.
Either that or they're looking for something soft to be able to quick up the bat speed. If they foul it that way, you don't want to throw something where they can speed up their bat.
And the pitch is outside. Throw to second base is a good one, and Hose is out. So Stephen Vogt with a very nice throw, and the side is retired. So head to the bottom of the third. No score. Sogard's going to lead it off. No score, bottom of the third on a beautiful night at the Coliseum. Stephen Vogt, can he throw?
Textbook.
I think he can.
He got out, made a quick release, and right to Cayespo. Watch how quickly he comes out from behind the plate, catches the ball right over the top, gets the footwork, squares it up, strong throw to second, and plenty of time for Cayespo, who maybe tagged him. His foot was on the bag, but the throw beat him. But Stephen Vogt has shown that he can throw, has a strong arm, very accurate, and a lot of credit to Darren Bush, the A's bullpen coach, who's been working very hard with the catchers, all the catchers, and hard work has paid off for Stephen Vogt.
First pitch to Sogard in for a strike. Sogard hitting in the ninth spot tonight. followed by Cayaspo and Smith. A couple of hits for the A's against Cozart, one in each inning. Cozart's got a couple of strikeouts. Sogard 0 for 4 last night. And after a very hot stretch, he's 0 for his last 12.
Amazing how hitters, players, pitchers will tinker with mechanics, different things, and Sogard during batting practice trying to spread out more as he is doing right now and take a very short strike. Thought last night said he got a little bit too far out in front and swung with the upper body. Did not have a lot under him to drive the ball and possibly hook it enough to get it in the seats. So the long spread out stance now, trying to minimize the stride and be very quick with the bat, or be patient to take what should have been ball 4 but called a strike. Wow.
So full count to Sogard. And that one a roll toward Wallace. He's going to flip to Cozart covering. And that's out number 1. On Sunday, September 1st, the A's will celebrate their 15th annual Breast Cancer Awareness Day, presented in part by Bay Area News Group, Comerica Bank, Nelson Staffing, and Ross Dress for Less. Since 1999, the A's have donated more than $1.25 million to breast cancer awareness, education, and research. To join the fight, purchase a special $26 ticket, and $5 will go directly to the American Cancer Society. For more information and to purchase special tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/survival. September will be here before you know it.
It's because the kind of the fall of the year, and
it is
football.
Yeah. This is game number 119 for the A's, so less than 50 to play.
You know, Cap, in reality, you look at this field and what a remarkable job Claywood and his crew did. You hardly even know a football game was played here.
Yeah. I think everybody was probably pleasantly surprised.
Absolutely. I mean, it looks great. There's the crew. Claywood, of course, longtime head groundskeeper. There he is. And spends a lot of time, but I think we were all shocked to come back after the football game and see it looking so good.
Yeah, and you know what? And I asked Clay about it. I said, it looks great. He said we're usually all right after one game. He said when there's a couple games, that's when they gotta really get after it. But he does a terrific job. Three and one now to Cayaspo.
Three pitches, 3 strikes for Cayaspo in his first at bat. Strikeout, victim, and then Seth Smith went to 3 and 2. Ended up grounding out.
Swing and a miss, 3 and 2.
Going to take a picture of a home run. Oh, right before.
Boom.
Just a base hit.
Yes, single to center field for Cayaspo. So third hit for the A's against Cozart, and here's Smith.
That's a great fan, though. You think about it. He had the picture and the flash before the actual pitch was made, so he would not disrupt the concentration of Cayaspo. It's pretty good. Nice swing by Cayaspo, and after swinging and missing the 3-1, got the same type of pitch, fastball down the middle. So a couple of hits tonight for the Athletics. What's the flash? Oh, that was right before the base hit. Digital, got it. Don't like it, delete it.
It's true. That's right.
So the A's 3 hits, 1 in each of the first 3 innings, 2 to straightaway center. Josh Donaldson to right field. So a good approach by the Athletics so far against this hard throwing right-hander.
Smith bounced out. Actually hit a big chopper right out in front of home plate that Castro grabbed and threw him out. That one called a strike. 7th inning now in Arlington. Still 4-2 Milwaukee over the Rangers. Short lead by Callaspo at first. I would imagine that this year, young pitching staff struggle at times. Jason Castro has probably got plenty of work in blocking balls.
Yeah.
And he's pretty good at it.
He's very good at blocking balls, and he's also very good at calling the game. And that's why if you have a young staff, I would think that you'd like to see the pitchers just go with the catcher who knows the hitters. Move any negative thoughts, any thought at all about what you're going to throw. Just put it all in the hands of the catcher. They prepare so much anyway. Well, Tommy Cann's being used a lot tonight, and that's the same location as one before that was called a strike. So the angle for Angel Hernandez seems to be pitcher friendly tonight.
2-2 pitch and off speed, not close. Now full count. Callaspo, the runner at first. See if he takes off.
Seth Smith usually pretty good about putting the ball in play, which again, that's something a manager would know based on the season. And Seth Smith at the plate, try to stay out, especially if a pitcher throws a lot of ground balls, and stay out of a possible double play by sending the runner. If he's running, it's going to be simply on make contact because he's not getting a very big lead.
Reddick in the on deck circle. Callaspo not running, and it's bounced over the mound, flipped to short, on to first, and that's double play. 4-6-3, side retired, and we're scoreless through 3 in Oakland.
Josh Reddick, break down Josh Donaldson's swing and go inside the business of baseball card collecting. New issue is available at the team stores or online at oaklandathletics.com/magazine.
No score, top of the 4th inning. And first pitch swinging is Robbie Grossman, and he sends one right up the middle, and that's a base hit. So hit number 2 for the Astros in the game, and that gets us to our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Chris Carter has struck out an Astros record 156 times this season. What player previously held the record in 1972? 1972. Got any ideas, Ray? 72. Well, the Astros have been around since 62. They were an expansion team coming in with the New York Mets. They were the Colt 45s from 62 to 64, and then they changed to the Astros in 65. The Colt 45s. I think they changed to the Astros when they moved into the Astrodome.
The Astrodome, yeah. Exactly. Kept their name when they moved to Minute Maid Park.
Oh, the Houston Minute Maids, the Houston Oranges,
yeah. The Houston Orange Juices.
Yeah. Still looking for a World Series title. Strike call to Brett Wallace,
a former Athletic second baseman, now current. I guess I don't know, with Phil Garner, it's kind of a aide to Bob Melvin and the staff, you know, but he managed that team in 2005. They lost to the White Sox. Consulting capacity now for the A's.
Yeah, that's right. That's their only World Series appearance.
And he came out of retirement to manage.
Yeah, their Astros organization is, unfortunately for them, they're on that list. You know that list we're talking about, the longest World Series drought list.
Well, the team that beat them in 05 was on a longer drought list.
That's right.
The White Sox. So the Red Sox in 04, White Sox in 05.
Swing and a miss, a changeup, and Wallace strikes out for the second time.
That's a great changeup, and again, started it in the first inning. Jared Parker started in the first inning throwing it very successfully, and when you see swings like that, that means it's an outstanding changeup. Just needs to be near the plate where it looks like a fastball. Hitters will swing, and such an off-balance swing, no chance for contact.
So here's Altuve. See if the Astros start a runner. That one hit to center. Young hustling back. He's going to get there to make the catch. So 2 outs. Interesting note on Parker, highest whiff percentage on changeups.
That's a good list to be on, especially when you're at the top of the list. You look at some of the pitchers on it. Lincecum, of course, the bottom at 40%. Great changeup. Fernando Chef Rodney with the Tampa Bay Rays, a great changeup. And there's the grip, the old circle change, where you take the index finger and the thumb and also kind of split it, but it's an interesting setup. But it works very well right over the top for Jared Parker.
So he splits his fingers a little bit too, and you don't see guys do that all that often with the changeup.
I mean, usually you can see it there. It's the circle change, the thumb and the index finger, but instead of having the middle ring and little finger together, he just splits those two and maybe more right over the top to get the movement. But it's a good one. It always has been.
Quick throw and getting back is Grossman. And you wonder, maybe that splitting the fingers a little bit, maybe it gives it a little bit more of a split finger action.
Exactly.
More tumbling action.
And the closer you have your fingers, the harder you throw. Once you start to split the fingers, then it's the same motion as the fastball, but it definitely is not thrown as hard.
1-1 to Castro, who struck out swinging in the second inning. That one hit high and foul down the left field line. So now Parker ahead in the count, 1-2.
I remember watching Bob Welsh pitch so well for the Athletics, being traded from the Dodgers, but he threw a great split finger fastball. But instead of putting equal pressure on the index and the middle finger, depending what he wanted to do with the baseball, he would add pressure by one of the other fingers. And the ball did all kinds of things, but great split finger. And great to see him, or to see him during spring training in the A's minor league system, talking pitching and working with the young pitchers in the A's organization. Talking about a man with a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you think about Welch being a right-handed hitter, so if he put a little extra pressure on the middle finger, ball would cut in a little bit to a left-handed hitter, right?
Index finger, maybe down and away, but I mean, it's a tumbling. The splitter's a very good, unique pitch anyway, because it tumbles and thrown hard, almost unhittable. But now you try to change directions with it.
Good pitch there. It was a off-speed pitch inside corner. Castro not in full agreement, but it's another strikeout, and that's 4 for Parker. So leadoff single, but nothing else for the Astros. Bottom of the 4th coming up, 0-0. California is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek's endless summers, waves of cash every day. Visit cachecreek.com for details. Altuve and Reddick hanging out. Just hanging out. Johnny Gomes is here. I thought Johnny Gomes was playing in Toronto.
We saw him in Toronto. Came out for the off day on Monday for the Red Sox. Saw Klamakia, Pedroia, and Johnny Gomes sitting behind home plate. Front row for the big 3 of the Red Sox.
First pitch to Reddick is bounced slowly toward Wallace at first. He takes care of it himself. And on one pitch, Reddick is gone, 1 out.
It's already the 7th ground ball out. 3 last inning. for this right-hander, Cozart. And I think what Cozart did facing 3 batters in the 3rd inning, all 3 were 3 and 2 counts, and yet all 3 resulted in ground balls, although fastball had a base hit, but he was raced on double play. So it's working as it was on July the 23rd for this young right-hander. Ground ball outs.
So Cespedes hit the ball to the shortstop to end the 1st inning. I would think, Ray, sometimes, and we're seeing it with Cozart, he may not even know that he's going to cut the fastball. It just happens naturally.
Especially if it's throwing 95.
Yeah.
Right? Typically, if you cut, you take a little bit off of a good fastball, you're going to get less movement, but you're right. And talking to Alan Ashby, great catcher for the Astros and now broadcaster, and he said that it's something that just developed. And he brought up he didn't think maybe the A's saw it on July the 23rd, and I don't remember seeing a good cut fastball, especially with the velocity he's throwing it tonight.
Hooked foul. That was an off-speed pitch, and it was a little up. Some notes on Cozart's fastball and how he does with it. First time, second time, third time through the lineup. Strike percentage goes down, chase goes down, velocity goes down, average goes up. So all that certainly works hand in hand.
But it's nice to see the velocity go down by just a mile.
Yeah.
From 95 plus down to 94. So he's maintaining the velocity.
Two and two to Cespedes. That was a breaking ball hit right to Dominguez, and that's another ground ball out. So a 2-2 curveball and a good one. And now Moss steps in. Moss struck out swinging in the 2nd inning.
Now batting first baseman, number 37, Brandon.
Just get the feeling with Brandon Moss, and as powerful as he is, the pitcher makes a mistake, it's long gone.
Yeah.
He's at 18, hit the knuckleball in his last home run. That was the knuckleball from R.A. Dickey, straightaway center field. Not a bad pitch down, but he drove it straightaway center.
So Moss tries to hold up. He can't do it. Moss was 0 for 3 last night. Another breaking ball, and he rolls that one foul.
This is R.A. Dickey on Sunday, and this made it a 3-1 game. And as Dickey would say, it's a good pitch, and it was down, but Brandon Moss, straightaway center, just crushed the ball, and probably continuation of the swing, the follow through was tremendous.
Fastball that time. Speaking of the Blue Jays, you see where they traded Emilio Bonifacio to the Royals today. I think Bonifacio played in all 4 games against the A's. Started. So we got a pretty good look at him, and now he's with the Royals.
Well, towards the trading deadline, they were here, and he was playing almost like a showcase.
Yeah.
And they were talking about trading him prior to the 31st, but that's the non-waiver deal is okay, but bottom line, anybody can be traded after the 31st.
So that's a 3-up, 3-down inning and 3 ground ball outs for Jarred Cozart. So we remain scoreless as we head to the 5th inning. Astros record 156 times this year. What previous player held the record back in 1972? Lee May. Oh, I remember Lee May with the Orioles.
That's right.
Just get up there and take big rips. Big Lee May.
That's right.
Carter to lead it off. Sogard charges, throws, and that's out number 1. So Chris Carter is 0 for 2. Now, if you're going to strike out as much as these guys are striking out, you better hit some home runs. And those guys do, especially Chris Davis.
Well, Dan Uggla's going to have LASIK surgery. He's going to go on the disabled list. I think he's going to have it Friday, and tried contacts, didn't work for him, so he is going to have the LASIK surgery and take a couple weeks to do it. Yeah. Seems like Greg Maddux, starting pitcher with the Braves, had it in between starts, but for some reason it's going to take a little bit longer for Uggla.
Chris Davis has 44 home runs now. That's the good news. The bad news for the Orioles is, see what happened to them. They lost again in Arizona today. 3rd straight loss. All 3 walk-offs to the Diamondbacks. And the last 2 days they've had leads in the 9th inning.
That's right.
So Jim Johnson, boy, he has given up some leads late this year. 9 blown saves for Johnson. So the Orioles fighting the A's, the Rays, the Indians in that wild card, and there's a walk to Dominguez. All right, now the Rays won today, so the Rays and the A's are tied. But remember, 2 wild card teams go.
Now batting, number 2.
So the Orioles are 3 back of the Rays. The Indians won today; they're 3.5. The Royals lost; they're 5 back. Yankees 5.5. So that's the AL wild card. So if the season started, or if the postseason started, I hate saying that because I don't like when people do that, but I'm going to do it anyways. If the postseason started today,
on August 15th, or 14th today, and starts tomorrow on August 15th,
the A's would be in the postseason. So that's good news. Runner goes, the ball's bounced to Sogard, who charges, flips out at second. No, they called him safe. Runners out at first. That's Barnes, but Dominguez is called safe, and Bob Melvin's coming out. They said Callaspo's foot was off the bat.
Oh, it's Doug Andings again. Amazing. You know, it's really incredibly amazing that you got the neighborhood play. They always do it at second base. You've seen guys aren't even close and they call them out. What a play on the hit and run. Sogard flipped to. I mean, that's too close. I'm sorry. That's actually, his foot's on the back. It's not even close. He's out. They didn't have the ball though. He kind of bobbled the ball a little bit. He said it was off the back. That's the wrong part. The foot was on the back. He just did not have a grip of the baseball when it came off. And maybe he's saying he was off the back after bobbling it in his hand. But a great effort. Just could not cleanly put it in the palm of his hand and make the throw. Surprisingly, he made a strong throw, a changeup to first base.
So here's L.J. Hose, who had a base hit in the 3rd inning. So the Astros a chance to take the lead with the runner at second and 2 outs. It's the first time they've had a runner in scoring position. Fastball low, 1-1. Big chopper. Sogard has it. Throws in time. Side retired runner stranded at second base. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It'll be Donaldson, Vogt, and Young. No score. Raceway. Catch the IndyCar GoPro Grand Prix of Sonoma August 23rd through the 25th. For tickets, go to racesonoma.com. Pitchers duel here at the Coliseum between Jared Kozart of the Astros and Jared Parker of the Athletics. No score, bottom of the 5th inning. Just 5 hits total in the game. Donaldson to lead it off. He's got one of the A's 3 hits. The other ones are Reddick single in the first, a Callaspo single in the third. Lots of ground ball outs for Kozart. He's only struck out 2. So we've seen Kozart a couple times now, and stuff is good. Pitch number 68 right there, and it's inside. Rangers have scored 3 times in the bottom of the 7th inning to take a 5-4 lead over the Brewers, and they're still batting. Andrus and Kinzer with big hits in that inning to knock in runs. Shot towards center, a little knuckle to it, and Barnes grabs it off the shoot tops. That was not an easy play.
Well, it was knuckling, hard hit ball, and he went down, and boy, he's fortunate to make the play, take him to the side. And he was saying with the momentum coming towards the infield, you don't catch it, nothing to stop it. He made the play, but as he caught it, watch what he does. He comes up and kind of takes it back into the pocket, but the webbing down on the ground, ball clearly in his glove.
So here's Vogt, who bounced out in the 2nd inning to the first baseman. Outside corner strike, 1-1 the count. Good curveball and a backdoor curve, and caught the outside corner, 1-2. See, there's that one 93 miles an hour, but boy, it was like almost like a hard slider.
Overthrew it, but it did cut very sharply.
Strike 3 called. So that is strikeout number 3 for Kozart. 2 outs. We'll be the first to get final scores of your favorite team sent directly to your phone. Text Athletics to 82653 to receive A's final score alert. CSNCalifornia.com is your interactive home for Bay Area sports. So 2 outs for Chris Young. A's have had 1 runner in scoring position tonight. That was Donaldson in the 2nd inning. They could not get him home. In fact, with Donaldson at 3rd and 2 outs, Young hit a line shot right to the shortstop, and that's how that inning ended. Changeup stays high, 2-0.
You know, one thing that's been kind of interesting tonight, watching Angel Hernandez with the left-handers, seems like he's expanded his strike zone outside, but 4-pitch walk by Parker last inning. Pitches were on the outside to the right-hander, a little bit more critical, not calling those pitches. So I guess if you're a catcher and you see a left-handed hitter, you could expand the zone a little bit. Seems to be getting the pitch. Jared Parker pitching well, as is Jared Kozart.
3-0 pitches in their first drive.
Just that last shot showed why Angel Hernandez is not. He's more directly behind the catcher with the right-hander than he is with a lefty. So he could see the outside corner better.
That one hit high to left field. Grossman into the corner, and he's got it. Side retired. 7 in a row retired by Jared Cozart, and we're moving to the 6th. No score.
The A's Oktoberfest is on Saturday, September the 21st. Specialty beers will be available to fans 21 and over throughout the Coliseum. And those fans will receive an Oktoberfest Stein courtesy of Sogs. German-themed entertainment will take place throughout the game. Purchase a special field level ticket package that includes a Brewmaster meet and greet and ceramic Stein. Visit OaklandAthletics.com/Oktoberfest. That is not Blake Stein, just a Stein. Got that great music too. Like that bunt attempt. Throw the bat. Missed the ball. And there's VR. And I mean, that's the true essence of deadening a ball. Throwing the bat at the ball for a bunt, but he couldn't make contact. Usually they carry the bat after making contact to deaden it, but that's a new approach.
And that one hit right back up the middle past Parker, and VR has a base hit. Aggressive turn. And that's a leadoff single here in the 6th inning to a very speedy runner.
An attempted bunt and then a pitch left.
Number 19.
Belt high. I don't know if Parker upset that he didn't field it. Likely aggressive turn in case there is a bobble in the outfield.
Bunt attempt, it kind of jabbed at by Grossman, and he fouls it back. Grossman had a base hit in the 4th inning. He also grounded to 3rd leading off the game. So 3 hits now for each team. Donaldson inching close, swinging away, and that's grounded right to the shortstop. Sogard has it, flipped to second for one on to first, double play. So, just like that, 2 out.
Oh, what a great turn by Callaspo. Remember, he played mostly at 3rd for the Angels, but coming across the bag, getting a nice feed from Sogard, and watch the quick release and the strong throw, avoiding the hard slide by VR. So very nicely turned. Sogard Callaspo this time definitely keeps his foot on the bag, uses his glove, no bobble the ball, and a very nice turn by the middle infielders.
So here's Brett Wallace. Wallace swings and misses. Wallace has struck out twice.
Now watch Callaspo, a nice feed from Sogard, but keeps the foot on the bag and just really upper body and flip in a very strong throw, considering he did not get a lot behind it.
Wallace, good swing there, shoots it to left field for a hit. So a couple hits in the inning for the Astros, but they're 2 outs, and here's Jose Altuve.
Nice swing by Brett Wallace, who's had trouble tonight, striking out a couple of times, but fastball stayed back. When you strike out, you stay back a little bit longer and think about opposite field, and Wallace did it perfectly.
Altuve has grounded out and hit a fly ball to center field, so he's 0 for 2 tonight and 1 for 7 in the series. Average sitting at 280. Of course, Altuve got a contract extension, a 4-year deal earlier this season. So that's a significant commitment by the Astros. That one up the middle, and that's a base hit. Wallace to second stops there, so 3 hits in the inning. So the double play continues to look bigger and bigger.
Well, fastballs to Wallace and Altuve, and Altuve very good hitting, right back up the middle on a low fastball. Castro is coming up, and of course he has been the victim of a couple of very good changeups thrown by Parker. See how much he thinks about the changeup and how much Parker will throw it in this at bat, which is a critical at bat considering a runner in scoring position.
So Castro steps in. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. So this is the first time that either team has had multiple base runners in an inning. That one grounded toward Moss, ranging far to his right, throws in time. And the Astros do not score, so Parker gets out of it. Astros strand a pair, bottom of the 6th coming up. At California is brought to you by GoPro, the world's most versatile camera. GoPro, you hear it. Nothing wrong with that crate of French fries. Can't go wrong there.
In other words, you would like one of those fans to be so kind to bring you some, right?
Just saying.
Just saying they look good.
They do. Both these guys, Cozart and Parker, awfully good tonight. Cozart will face Sogard, Cayaspo, and Smith. He has retired 7 in a row. And the first of that stretch of 7 in a row was a double play. So here's Sogard trying to get something going against the 23-year-old right-hander Jared Cozart. First pitch is a strike. Next pitch is up and away. So no walks for Jared Cozart. Interesting. Coming into the game, he has walked 17, struck out 14 in 33 innings. Again, that's coming into tonight's start. So he's not been a huge strikeout guy in the early going. That one grounded up the middle, but VR playing that way, throws in time to get Sogard. One out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Another ground ball out. Clay Wood, we talk about him converting the field from football to baseball. Nice work. He's going to have to replace a lot of divots in front of home plate and on the infield, because Jared Parker throwing a lot of pitches, resulting in ground ball outs, and same for this right-hander. Parker has 9. It's the 10th for this right-hander.
Big breaking ball, drops low. Strikeout and a single for Alberto Cayaspo. Cayaspo playing in his 12th game with the Athletics. Had the big hit on Monday in Toronto.
Had a big hit Sunday also. Actually, back-to-back games with doubles late. One in the 8th, one in the 9th. One from the right side, one from the left side. That is interesting, that watching the game in Toronto and the game here last night, the right fielder HOU's playing as deep as he was able to catch Sogard's ball. Maybe if he's playing a little bit more shallow, he does not get back. Bonifacio was playing shallow in Toronto and could not get back on the one that was hit to left field. This time a 4-pitch walk.
So meeting at the mound, that's the first walk.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 15.
And Smith will hit. Seth Smith.
He's pitching a great game. 5 innings, 3 hits. He walks the batter and everybody wants to talk to him.
Everybody's worried. Smith has bounced out and hit into a double play. 0 for 2. 0 for 5 in the series. That game in Texas is now in the 9th inning. The Rangers 5, the Brewers 4. Joe Nathan is in the game, so it was a 3-run 7th inning for Texas that gave them the lead. And they're trailing 4-2. First pitch is outside to Smith. Missed again, and now it's 2-0. So 6 consecutive balls thrown by Kozart. His pitches, this would be number 90 coming up.
What do we say? To let us show the graphic, third time through the
right.
order. Fastball velocity, everything is down. Strikes are down. This is the second batter, third time through the order.
Yep. Didn't say anything about not being able to find the strike zone, but it's been the case so far. .30 pitch. That one's in for a strike. So 3-1 the count with Callaspo at first. Sogard opened the inning with a ground out. Foul and a good swing by Smith. Got a piece of Castro. So full count.
A similar situation in the third inning. And Seth Smith 3-0, 3-1, now 3-2 with the foul ball off Jason Castro's mask. The helmet, the mask absorbed the impact. Callaspo was not running in the third inning when Seth Smith hit the ground ball, resulting in a 4-6-3 double play. We shall see what happens this time. Hitters always have to remember, 1 out, 3-2 count. Don't have to swing like it's hit and run. If it's a ball, you take it. It's ball 4. See, a lot of guys will swing at it thinking they have to swing, but that is not the case.
Casper runs, and the ball's driven towards center field. Barnes is going back. He's at the wall, and he leaps up and he makes the catch. And now Callaspo's going to have to hustle back, and he's going to make it. He was rounding second. He was past second. So he had to touch it and then hustle back to first. But what a play by Brandon Barnes, right up against the wall.
Seth Smith could not hit it any harder, except maybe tomorrow when a day game that might be a little bit different. Barnes playing somewhat deep, so did not have to go that far back, but against the wall makes a very nice catch and bangs into the wall, padded as it is, and gets the ball back in. That's one of the things. You can play deep. You don't have as far to run. You can track the ball a little bit better. And Seth Smith came that close to making it a 2-0 game.
So here's Reddick.
It's a home run tomorrow. Daytime baseball, and it's a difference. Fastball was running, thought the ball was going to land. It did not, so he's got to retrace his steps, make sure he touches second, then hustle back to first. No throw.
Reddick with a single and a ground out. And now it's 2-0. Reddick 2 for 5 in the series. Well, we've seen Brandon Barnes this year, Ray, and he plays a pretty good center field.
Yeah.
He's made some nice plays against the Athletics.
Rob Green of a 2-run triple,
right,
looking for his first hit. He said he told Grant Green, don't hit it my way. I hope you get your first hit, but don't hit it towards me.
And a 3-0 pitch. Looked like it was a little high, but it's called a strike.
So I mentioned that's a left-handed hitter. Angel Hernandez, that's a ball to a right-hander. It's not even close. Wouldn't even consider it. But this one not only high, but probably outside. But the angle is much different for Angel Hernandez. Yeah, it's Castro, and you have to reach for a ball like that. It's too high.
3-1. And that one's ripped foul past Ty Waller.
Is that thought, maybe? Ooh. Ground ball pitcher gets the ball up in the air, and center fielder makes a great play.
So 3-2. Kayaspa will take off. He does, and it's a breaking ball, strike 3 call. And Reddick throws his bat down.
And by Angel Hernandez pointing, that's a fine, probably for an equipment violation.
So that's the 4th strikeout, and we are through 6, still 0-0. Baseball. It's Comcast Sportsnet California's authentic Fan Fridays right here at the Coliseum. This Friday, the Indians are in town. You get a ticket in our value deck behind home plate, an authentic A's grab bag, a cheer card, and a $6 food and drink voucher, all for one great price. The best deal in Bay Area baseball is Comcast Sportsnet Authentic Fan Fridays. Log on to csncalifornia.com for details. Straight up pitching matchup here. No score, and it's the top of the 7th inning. So Carter gets the lumber ready, and he'll be followed by Dominguez and Barnes. 5, 6, and 7. That's Philip Humber starting to throw. First pitch to Carter is hit high down the left field line. Cespedes looking up, and it is gone. And the Astros lead 1-0 on Carter's 22nd home run.
He's been flirting with it in both games, and got a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. It was up, and it was gone. Tried to be down and away. It was up and in, and Chris Carter pulled the hands in, and with his power, he crushed it. And really, the pitch count for Jared Parker is down to the point that right then the last inning for Cozart anyway, and with Philip Humber warming up. But Jared Parker made a mistake, and Chris Carter hit it.
It's a final. The Rangers beat the Brewers 5-4. Joe Nathan had a 3-up, 3-down top of the 9th inning. So that series is over. That was just a 2-game series. So they split. So the A's now a 1.5 games back of the Texas Rangers. Donaldson scoops it up, and that's out number 1.
He's just very quick. We saw last year when he came up and combined with Brandon Moss to hit a lot of home runs at first base in a platoon role.
Brandon Barnes.
And yes, he might strike out, but that's what he's capable of doing. It's 22 times he's homered this season.
So this is Brandon Barnes who takes inside. So those Texas Rangers will have tomorrow off, and then they will host the Seattle Mariners this weekend. The Mariners this weekend, and then the Astros will be in Arlington. So Seattle and Houston, that is what is up next for the Texas Rangers after their off day tomorrow. Changeup and a swing and a miss. Barnes has popped out and grounded out. Both balls hit to the shortstop. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there. That is strikeout number 5. And that is out number 2 here in the top of the 7th.
A rare slider, but a good one. Down and away. Chase slider and got it. Kind of in between slider curveball. Good change of speeds. Good location.
Number 28, L.J. Hose.
So here's Hose. Single and a ground out. And he takes a strike. Hose, the 8th spot. Donaldson charges. Throws on the run. Nicely done. Side retired, but Chris Carter, a solo home run, his 22nd of the year. So 1-0 Astros after 6.5. The top of the 7th inning. So the A's with just 3 hits through 6 innings off Jared Cozart, but Jared Cozart is no longer in the game. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. This is Philip Humber. Humber started the season in the rotation. Had a couple good starts early on, but then started to get knocked around to the minor leagues, and now pitching out of the bullpen for the Astros. Philip Humber. So he faces Cespedes. First pitch is a bit high.
Best thing the A's did was get this man out of the game. 99 pitches for Cozart and pitched well. Just one walk, and that came in the 6th inning. 4 strikeouts, 10 ground ball outs. That's 22 ground ball outs in 2 starts he's made against the Athletics this season. Meanwhile, Jared Parker's pitch count much lower as he has completed 7.
Cespedes has grounded out twice tonight. And he got a fastball there out over the plate, fouled it back.
23 perfect games pitched in Major League Baseball. Philip Humber last year against the Seattle Mariners in April.
Yep.
21st up in Seattle as a starting pitcher of the Chicago White Sox and El Presidente. Dennis Martinez, 245 wins. He was the 13th perfect game in 1991 against the Dodgers. So from 1991 to 2012, number 13 and number 21 perfect games.
And that one hit right up the middle, and Cespedes has a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a good start. And now Moss will hit.
And a curveball, instead of in the dirt, it stayed up high enough. Hit it hard, straight away center. So from last night to center field, double to right field, and a 2-run. And that's what he's doing so well, using the whole field.
So Moss steps in, a strikeout and a ground out so far. And the first pitch is a strike. So Humber throws the perfect game last year. But toward the, or actually by mid-August, he was out of the rotation.
Yep. And he went to the bullpen, and then Astros got him started. Minor leagues and back in the big leagues in the bullpen.
And that would drill toward left center field, and nobody's going to get it. It's cut off by Grossman. Cespedes being waved home, and he's going to score. And just like that, we're tied at 1. So Humber comes out of the bullpen, faces 2 hitters, and the game is tied.
You know, Brandon Moss just opposite field power. Home run to center field in Toronto, and against Humber, he goes perfectly to the opposite field. A low fastball outside. Drove it, and really not much of a slicing action on the ball. Then he drove to left center. Grossman cut it off, but Cespedes tremendous speed. Ball in front of him, read it perfectly, and by running as hard as he did to third, Mike Gallego, Cespedes wasn't even looking at him, so he was going to score anyway. That's just tremendous speed that Yoenis Cespedes has.
So now a great opportunity for the A's to take the lead. Here's Donaldson. Donaldson swings at a breaking ball, rolls and foul.
And Mike Gallego, of course, sending him all the way, and runs are premium. Cespedes tremendous speed, and best thing he did was run hard to Mike Gallego, even though he might have done it himself.
Well, the A's got to the bullpen last night, just came up a little bit short, and they've gotten to it again tonight. It has been a major issue for the Astros all year long. Humber has it, and he throws to second, and everybody's safe. No, out at first. So they tried to get the runner at second, Moss. They did not get him, and then they gunned it to first and were able to get Donaldson. So a heads-up play in the middle of the diamond.
Yeah, Moss off the bag at second, did not go that far. Was thinking about going to third, but the ball caught by Humber, and what a play from Humber to second base. Ball off the end of the bat, and they tried to do it, but could not. VR showing a very strong arm, like turning a double play. And fortunately, Moss was safe at second as he got back in. It was a tag play, not even close. But VR continued and made a strong throw to first. So an unproductive out. Although a rare 1-6-3 on a putout. Moss had to stay at second.
So here's Vogt. First pitch to Vogt is a little bit low.
I just wonder if Josh Donaldson didn't run. Yeah, he wasn't running initially, thinking the ball was going to be, stopped twice. And then once the ball was hit, he probably thought the ball was going to go straight to first and not know it was going to second. That's when he picked up the speed. And otherwise, as great a play as VR made, Donaldson should have been safe if he's running hard out of the box. And he wasn't.
It looked like, and a good play by VR, because he did not really attempt to tag Moss because he knew he was going to be safe. So then it just turns into like he's turning a double play.
Yeah, exactly. And really, if Donaldson's running out of the box, then, so many times above the pitcher, you just assume, and that's the word that should not be used, and that is the old assumption that you're going to just take the ball from first or from the pitcher's mound and throw to first, and he didn't. And what could have been is not.
So 1-2 the count now to Vogt. Young is in the on deck circle.
David Renetti holding court down by the dugout. The vice president of stadium operations, making sure everything's okay.
Just a touch inside with a fastball, so the count now even at 2-2. The Rangers have won their game tonight 5-4 over the Brewers. And Vogt out in front of an off-speed pitch, and he cannot get that go-ahead run home, so Vogt 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
Now a good 12-6 curveball. He's had that, helped him pitch the perfect game last year, and Stephen Vogt just could not make contact. Tried to hold back on his swing.
So Young will have a shot. He is lined out and fouled out. And there's the breaking ball, but it's outside. So Young 0 for 7 in this series. Parker will head back out there. The A's bullpen is quiet. Went high again, and now it's 2-0. So Cespedes led it off with a single. Moss knocked him in with a double to tie up the game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So Humber stays with the breaking ball, and that one grabs the outside corner.
I think in this inning, if Cespedes is held at third, he's standing there now with 2 out based on what has happened since then. Good slider from the right-hander, catching the outside corner.
So 2-1. See if Humber throws another breaking ball. And he does, and it's a swing, says Paul Mallard. 2-2 the count.
Chris Young starts and drops the bat, catches it as it's coming in, and
so the count even at 2-2. Fastball, so that's the first fastball Young has seen in this at bat, and now it's a full count. Sogard hoping to get a chance to hit in this inning. Numbers ready, and here's the payoff pitch to Chris Young. It's hit toward left. Grossman back a couple steps and over. He's got it. Side retired. So a run for the A's. We're headed to the 8th. It's a 1-1 ball game.
Cespedes bobblehead Saturday, August 17th. That's Saturday. 15,000 fans will get a Yoenis Cespedes bobblehead presented by State Farm when the A's host the Cleveland Indians. For more information and tickets, call 877-493-BALL or visit OaklandAthletics.com/tickets. The manager of the Tribe, Terry Francona, former pitch coach of the A's. Nick Swisher, of course. Jason Giambi, former Athletics. Will be here this weekend for their first and only trip. Coliseum in 2013.
Both the Indians and the Tigers won today, so Detroit still holding a 6-game lead over the Indians, but the Indians are in this wild card thing. So another important series. Doolittle starts to throw. VR to lead it off, and then it'll be the top of the order. We are a fly ball to left and a single. So he is 1 for 6 in this series. With just 78 pitches for Parker. And we're in the 8th inning. And that one missed inside.
Really not sure, are we? There's nothing wrong with that pitch. It's right on the plate, not high considering what Angel Hernandez has called tonight, so it should have been strike 3.
Donaldson dives, he can't get it.
What a shock.
So VR opens up the 8th inning with a base hit, and Parker's yelling at Angel Hernandez.
He's just so inconsistent. Usually he's consistently bad, but tonight very inconsistent. That should have been strike 3.
Number 19.
So that's hit number 7.
Got on top of a ball and found the left field hole just past Josh Donaldson.
So here's Robbie Grossman. Long look to Dave Tremblay, the third base coach. So here comes your one team tries to execute offensively, the other team has to execute defensively. Whether it be a bunt play or a steal. But VR, I don't know if he's going or not, but he had a huge lead at first. He's a good base stealer.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's with a runner at second base, nobody out last inning, couldn't advance him, and now the Astros with the runner first trying to advance him into scoring position.
There's a baseball loose in right field. Well, we'll see what happens here, Ray, but statistically anyways, the Astros lead the American League in sacrifice bunts. So obviously they like to do it, and we'll see if they do it here. Donaldson thinks they're going to as he creeps in. And the runner goes. Throw to second base is in time and got him. Oh, he had a big lead and a pretty good jump. Vogt threw him out anyways.
That's simply a matter of a ball and the runner arrived at the same time, and Alberto Callaspo played it perfectly. Going to cover second base. Look where the ball is. Right into, and with a one hop actually on top of it, but a quick release by Vogt. Second time tonight with the caught stealing, and a great play again by Callaspo at second as VR actually is hit right into the tag at second, and that is a huge play. So, like you said, let's get the big lead, and thought he could steal it because he took off, was not a hit and run, and there's the tag, and a correct call because the ball caught by Callaspo and the tag applied.
Left center, but playable for Young. And that's out number 2. So that'll bring up Brett Wallace.
They mentioned in the Strata game, same type of play where a big caught stealing.
Number 29, Brett
40th
Wallace.
caught stealing, most in the American League. So maybe the sacrifice would have been a little better.
Well.
Attempted anyway, but probably thought VR. And it's all about timing. The amount of seconds. Dave Clark with a stopwatch at first base, the coach, and figured he's going to be able to get a good enough jump, but the quickness in which Vogt has released the ball is just unbelievable.
Wallace 1 for 3 tonight, 1 for 5 last night. He does have 9 home runs. Swings at a changeup way out in front, 1-1 the count. Kevin Chapman, the left-hander, is loose and ready to go. And now 1-2. Swing and a miss. Wallace chased it. He strikes out for the 3rd time. And Stephen Vogt with a little help on the defensive end. 1-1 game as we go to the bottom of the 8th. game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Pitchers duel between Jared Parker and Jared Kozart. They were both very good tonight. First run in the game. Well, it didn't happen until the 7th inning. Chris Carter with a solo home run. So it was 1-0 Astros going to the bottom of the 7th, but Hayes answered back right away. Cespedes singled, and then Moss doubled him home. And that made it a 1-1 game. And the A's had Moss at second base with nobody out, but they could not get him home. Parker's been terrific as he pitched the top of the 8th. And it is now the bottom of the 8th. And it's a 1-1 game. Sogard to lead off against Philip Humber. And Sogard whips one to right field. On the move is Hose. He can't get it. And Sogard hustling for second, and he's going to have a leadoff double.
He did it again. Eric Sogard, first 2 times at the plate, taking a first pitch strike. But what does he do? He ambushes him. Gets a first pitch fastball, and maybe kind of lulled to sleep, thinking he's going to take another and throw a fastball down the middle, and Sogard jumped on it for a double. This time hooking away from Hose in right field. He could not catch it, not playing as deep as he was last night in the 9th inning. Jared Parker, 8 solid innings, likes the start of this inning.
So a full meeting of all the infielders. And another meeting going on there. They're 1-7-0 for the Astros. 1-6-0 for the Athletics. So Callaspo is the hitter. Callaspo has struck out, singled, and walked. Corner infielders in on the grass. Cass put a bunt. He bunts it in the air foul. Up over the backstop.
Down Dominguez at third base while he was coming down the line, but he did not move that far, although the ball was foul. But Callaspo trying to bunt the ball to third, forcing Dominguez, the third baseman, to field the ball, allowing Sogard to get to third. That is the #1 objective if Callaspo bunts. Not to the pitcher, not to the first baseman. Daily Dominguez, as was the case in Toronto on Saturday when Jansen made the play. First and second, nobody out, and he got the ball off the bat of Stephen Vogt.
Squares again. The pitch is high, so the count 1-1. Well, he's a little bit more difficult when it's a tag play at third.
Yeah.
Probably need a split second longer.
Exactly, and of course the third baseman has to determine if the pitcher is going to field the ball to get back, and once he charges and commits, then third base is vacated and Sogard can make it safe.
Bunted in the air, and it's caught, dropped by the catcher, Jason Castro. That is a huge break for the Athletics. He had it in his glove.
You're right, a great break for the A's because Castro back had it easily, but as it hit in the pocket, rode up to the webbing and could not put his hand on it quickly enough as he reached down, tried to grab it, but could not.
And he used 2 hands.
Yes, he did. He did everything correctly, except maybe close his mitt a little bit too quickly.
fastball with a little deke show of bunt. See if he's swinging away. There's a ball loose again in right field. Hyde and Chapman, who both pitched last night.
Maybe the deke, the fake by Castro. Mike Geiger wants to talk to him and say, the bunt is on, or what are you doing?
You were deking, right? He's swinging away, and it's a breaking ball that's outside.
He started the game with 3 pitches and 3 strikes called by Angel Hernandez. I wouldn't trust him. Anything close swing. And right now, at the point of ideally trying to pull the ball, but 2 strikes, just trying to make contact, see if he can move the runner that way, maybe with the base hit. But Grossman extremely shallow in left field. And a huge hole between third and short.
Two pitch is bounced back to Humber, who grabs it, spins, throws to first, and that's out number 1. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Eric's Deli Cafe, celebrating 40 years of bringing it to the plate. Stop by Eric's and enter to win 40 years of free sandwiches with character. So with a couple of left-handed hitters coming up, Smith and Reddick, Bull Porter's going to go to his left-hander, Chapman. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Now.
Is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Toyota. Do the math and save at your local Toyota dealer.
So Nate Fryman's going to pinch hit. He's pinch hitting for Seth Smith. So with the lefty Kevin Chapman coming in, Bob Melvin goes to his right-handed hitter off the bench, Fryman. He also has Norris. So here's Chapman with the go-ahead run at second base and 1 out. And that one's driven to left center field. Barnes circles underneath it. He's got it. Sogard's going to tag. He's going to try for third, and he is out. He's called out, and
Guess who?
A little argument, but that's an out that cannot be made.
Nope.
So that's how the 8th inning ends, with Bob Melvin getting thrown out
by the same umpire who's had 3 calls.
So 9th inning coming up, and we're tied at 1. Eric Sogard thrown out at third. Was he out? That's the question.
Well, once he saw the ball was going to be caught by Barnes, he went back to tag Barnes. A very strong throw, high throw to Dominguez, who tried to deke him, and really didn't look that close at all. There's Doug Eddings' rotation coming over from second base to make the call, and that would be 3 calls that he's made in this series. But see the right hand and the tag a little bit late. Matter of fact, did he ever tag? I don't think he ever tagged it until after the glove hit the ground and came up with the tag. But it's the old saying, if you're going to try to go to third, it's 100%, not almost or should have been. It's, I guess, one of those too close, and unfortunately did not go the A's way.
1-2 now to Altuve, followed by Castro and Carter.
See that? With the positioning by Doug Eddings, I don't see how he missed it, to be honest. And Bob Melvin was at him, and as was third base coach Mike Gallego, and Bob Melvin was ejected.
So Altuve, it's a soft line drive to Sogard, and that's out number 1 here in the top of the 9th inning, and that'll bring up Castro.
The frustrating part, if he had been advanced to third by Callaspo, then that fly ball would have scored him easily, but tried to get to third, although he was still in scoring position even with Barnes making the play.
So here's Castro, who's 0 for 3. He had a pitch to hit, he fouled it back. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out for Castro.
Just the 92nd pitch by Jared Parker, and probably would not have come out for the 9th if the A's had taken the lead. But with the pitch count down, he's back out to pitch the 9th.
Good pitch there on a fastball with a little movement. So the count 0-2. Fastball spins Castro outside, or inside, I should say. Carter will be next. Cook is throwing in the A's bullpen. So right-hander throwing. It's Josh Fields in the Astros bullpen. Pitch number 96 from Parker. Here it is. And a good swing by Castro, fouls it straight back. That's pretty good right there. Look at the pitches by inning. That's about as consistent as we've seen this year. Wow. The only run they got was a home run. So that happened quickly.
And that was the worst pitch he's thrown all night. The bad location.
And that one is ripped up the middle, and it's a base hit for Castro. So hit number 8, and here comes Carter.
The Carter home run was supposed to be a fastball down and away. It was a fastball up and in, and Big Chris turned on it for his 22nd home run.
Chip Hale's coming out. And he's made the move. So Jared Parker is terrific tonight, but he is not going to get a W. See if the team can get the W when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and small experts. Cook coming in to face Carter, and a nice ovation for Jared Parker.
Very good night. Strikeouts with the fastballs to change up working very well from the first inning of this game. And one slider for a strikeout, but mostly with the fastball and change ups. And unfortunately, one bad pitch that was to Chris Carter, the home run. But the real unfortunate thing, the A's just one run after a couple of times having a runner at second base and nobody out, could not advance him. And Parker is hopeful now that Ryan Cook can get out of the inning. The A's can come back to win as a team victory tonight.
Slider for a strike to Carter. Carter's home run, a solo shot in the 7th inning. 5-2 the record for Ryan Cook. He got a win on Sunday and he got a win on Monday. So you don't see that very often with a relief pitcher.
And after the 2 outings, had last night off. He was not going to pitch last night.
He pitched Saturday as well. Saturday,
yeah,
Sunday,
exactly.
Monday. So he was busy in Toronto. So 0-2. Matt Dominguez is in the on-deck circle. And a good breaking ball, and it's a strikeout, and hustling to second is Castro as the ball just squirted away from Vogt, but not very far. So Carter strikes out as he chased a pitch in the dirt. Go-ahead run is now at second, 2 outs.
Well, that's a great secondary job by Castro to get to second base. Vogt with a high throw. It was a quick throw, and I don't even know if a low throw would have had him. Sogard tried to dig Castro, thinking the ball went to center field, trying to get him to head to third base, or Castro did, that is.
So we got a pinch runner. That's Marwin Gonzalez.
How about that? The catcher takes a daring play, secondary jump, gets to second base. He's not fast enough to score.
No respect for you catchers. So Marwin Gonzalez, just brought back from the minor leagues, is the pinch runner, and here's Dominguez. And the first pitch, and I thought it hit Dominguez. I thought I heard the double thud. It was inside. So the count 1-0. Dominguez is 2 for 6 in the series. The outfield, a couple steps in. And I have a shot at the runner at the plate if it's a base hit. And it's high, and now it's 2-0. The on-deck hitter is Brandon Barnes. Popped up and foul. Dominguez sitting on a 2-0 fastball, and he got it.
July 23rd. Matt Dominguez against Grant Balfour as he's trying to complete saves, but this one was long gone left center. 44 consecutive for Grant Balfour.
Yeah, that tied it, and
then it got ugly. Further win it.
3 batters later, the game is over. 2-1 pitch, snaps in there for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Sharp breaking slider stayed on the inside part of the plate. Hitter sees the slider spin, they think outside, but sometimes if it backs up or stays on the inside, it can work the same.
Three-two pitches hit up the middle. Callaspo backhands, throws to first. What a play by Callaspo. He was playing right there. The ball was right up the middle. So a very nice play by Callaspo, and the game stays tied. the ninth. It's a 1-1 game. So if the A's are going to win this tonight, they will win it with a walk-off. Reddick, Cespedes, and Moss here in the bottom of the ninth. Carlos Corcoran comes in. So Corcoran is the new catcher. Kevin Chapman stays in the game, and the first pitch is a slider way outside. Chapman came in to face Fryman. And Fryman hit the fly ball that turned into a double play. 2-0. It's been a while since we've had a walk-off.
That's right.
3-0. Reddick swinging on 3-0. It's a big chopper. Wallace grabs it, and that's out number one. So Reddick thinking get a good fastball, end it with one pitch, but he rolls out.
Alberto Callaspo, a very strong arm because he's played third base, but what a job he has done tonight at second. Look where he's playing. Dominguez, he was to the shortstop side of second and then crossed his body with a strong throw, and perhaps the arm strength of a third baseman, which he has played or did play exclusively for the Angels, and was definitely helped him playing second. Strong throw, accurate to Brandon Moss. Robbed Dominguez of a base hit, and what would have been, if it's in center field, RBI, considering advancing to second base by Castro.
So here's Cespedes. He's 1 for 3. Singled and scored in the 7th. Fastball, a bit outside. Moss in the on deck circle. Fastball, foul back.
Walk-off home runs are great, but a walk-off whatever else is even better. And sometimes you hitters, and Cespedes swung at a pitch really out of the strike zone, and 3 to Reddick were out of the strike zone before he swung at 3-0. But the little things can help you win, and just trying to get on base and manufacture a run.
Slider, strike called, 1-2.
Outfield playing no home runs.
Outfielders are playing on the other side of the wall.
They are deep.
Cespedes behind in the count, 1-2. This one's popped up foul territory. Wallace hustling over, and Wallace makes the catch, goes down to one knee. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth, and it'll be Moss.
It was a long run for Wallace because he was playing well off the line and surprisingly went down to one knee. Guess he lost it in the sun. Tomorrow he'll have to fight the sun.
Yes, that is a much more difficult play tomorrow.
In anticipation of the day game, Dave Tremblay, third base coach, had boys out yesterday for early batting practice, hitting fly balls to the outfielders, and
good move.
Exactly. As you know, it's a tough sun.
I mean, that's all you would have to do as an opposing player is see the highlights from the Blue Jays A's game, what, a week and a half ago.
The Angels before that.
Yeah, that's right.
Same homestand.
Moss got a slider to hit, popped it up, coming in his Barnes, the center fielder. A long run, he gets there. Side retired. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Kevin Chapman, and we got extra innings from the Coliseum, folks. It's a 1-1 game.
By Chevron is set for Saturday, August 31st at the A's play the Tampa Bay Rays at HOU at OAK Coliseum. Bring the family and enjoy the show from the outfield grass. As always, on-field capacity is limited. Purchase a special field level ticket package for the game, which includes a co-branded Green Day and Oakland A's cap. For tickets and information, log on to oaklandathletics.com/Green Day.
One game, top of the 10th inning. It's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. It's your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Balfour comes in, top of the 10th inning. Balfour last pitched on Sunday. Take that back. He last pitched. Yeah, Sunday. He got the save on Sunday. And he's ready to go.
Yeah, the game in which he and Tim McClellan, the crew chief,
that's right. That was the crazy game where he threw a whole boatload of pitches.
27-minute inning. And
for the Athletics, number 50, Grant Balfour.
A's 7-4 in extra innings this year. Astros 3-3. At this point in the game, you always feel like the A's have the advantage because of their very fine bullpen. So Balfour to face Barnes, Hose, and Villa. So Ryan Cook, 2/3 of an inning with a strikeout. A couple of big outs. So Balfour kicks, and his first pitch to Barnes is a breaking ball outside. Oh for 3 tonight for Barnes after a 2-for-4 2-double night last night. 2-0. One other game still being played. That's the Dodgers and the Mets down in Los Angeles. Mets are winning that game 4-2. Dodgers do not lose very much lately. They probably got them right where they want them. Trailing in the 8th. 2-1 to Barnes. Outside, 3-1. Astros have 8 hits in the game. 7 singles and the home run by Carter. Swing and a miss. Fastball looked like that one had a little sinking action to it.
Grant Balfour has a good fastball, and there are times that he will throw curveball sliders, but then come back and challenge hitters, and he is able to get the job done, as he just did on a 3-1, trying to do it with a 3-2.
Swing and a miss. He blew it right by him, 94 miles an hour, and that's out number 1.
Well, remarkably, he's able to come back and challenge hitters when they know a fastball is coming, and Barnes just could not catch up to the 3-2 or the 3-1 fastballs. Both very good pitches thrown by Grant Balfour. I think staff would probably rather see him get ahead 0-2 and float around with a curveball or something, but this time he does.
So 0-1 to Hose, who is 1 for 3, a single and a couple of ground outs. 3 for 7 in the series. There's a breaking ball that misses. Well, the A's may have won 11 of the first 12 games played against these two teams, but the Astros have played well in this series. Winning last night and getting good pitching.
Porter has to be very happy with the starters. Last night, Lyles gave up just 1 run. Tonight, Kovzart just 1 run. Actually, he did not. He left without giving up a run. It was Philip Umber who gave up a run for the A's to tie it. But I think the impressive thing, and sadly for the A's standpoint, a runner at second base twice and not been able to advance him to third base. And we talked about the inability of the A's at times to get a runner from third less than 2 outs, but you have to get him there and take the chances. But tonight, twice have not been able to.
That one hit down the right field line, but foul, just past the bullpen. VR will be next. In the bottom of the 10th, it'll be Donaldson, Vogt, and Young. That is Lucas Harrell throwing. Coming in with a fastball, and it's a bit too far inside. So a full count to the rookie LJ HOU. Balfour on a full count to Barnes, blew a fastball right by him. See what he does here. And that one's drilled toward right. Reddick hustling back, and he gets there for out number 2. But go deep with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30 on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Tonight, lots of highlights and clubhouse reaction from our game here in Oakland. Brody the A's bat boy and teammate reaction to Cap the cover boy.
Brody the what?
Brody the bat boy. That's what it says. David Feldman and Medfree.
Oh, we got to watch that. Can we get a tape of that show? I saw him put a uniform in today. I don't even want to say anything. That's okay. It should be a good show.
So there is a proper way to put a uniform on, and you're saying that maybe that wasn't the case?
Well, no, he put it on okay, but it's the fact it didn't look that good on him.
Okay, a little baggy.
Steve Lewiston trying to get him one that fit, and I think they met him that small. I don't know, it just seemed to be a little bit large for him.
1-1 to Jonathan VR, is 2 for 3.
What's he doing near the team photograph?
Yeah, well,
it's Jared Parker.
He was in the team photo.
Let's see where.
Good pitch right on the outside corner, 1-2. Balfour kicks. Here's the pitch in the dirt, 2-2. VR has slapped a couple of singles to left field tonight. Pitch number 18 coming up from Balfour. Here it is, and it's foul back. So a strikeout and a hard hit ball by HOU so far here in the top of the 10th inning. And that one's lined. Sogard cannot quite get it. Cespedes going to have to hustle over to cut it off. And a big turn, but VR hustles back, and that's pretty good at bat by the youngster Jonathan VR. He has a 3-hit game.
Well, HOU's hit the fastball hard to right field on a 3-2, and this time the good curveball. But Sogard almost made another great leaping catch. Just cannot jump high enough. But Cespedes, very, very good job getting to the ball. VR, any hesitation by Cespedes in left field, and he would have been at least trying for second.
Here's the top of the order, and Robbie Grossman. First pitch, and that's in there for a strike. See, this is what I don't understand, right? I'm watching VR. This is obviously a running situation. And while the pitch is being thrown, he's putting his gloves on. Well, you're not running if you're putting your gloves on.
That's a
it
good
doesn't
point.
make any sense to me.
Yeah, good point.
So the hitter takes a strike for you. Now he's down 0-1, and you're putting your gloves on.
And the best thing to do, if you're going to do that, call time.
Exactly.
Call time, put your gloves on, get ready to go, because good hitters, and Grossman probably, as he has already done in this game, take a pitch to try to see if at least the runner's going to attempt to steal.
I mean, you really cannot ask for a more clearer running situation than this. But it's a wasted pitch to even do it. I watched him. He was not doing anything except putting his batting gloves on. And now it's 0-2. So Balfour in the driver's seat to Robbie Grossman.
Really, the driver's seat to get this hitter and not think about the runner first. It make him stop. But just try to get the hitter.
Strike three called. So on 3 pitches, Grossman is called out. And that'll do it for the Astros in the top of the 10th inning. Jonathan VR never left first base. 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the 10th. This homestand as they will host the Cleveland Indians. That'll be our next televised game. It'll be A.J. Griffin and Justin Masterson. And there's the rest of the matchups for the weekend series against the Indians. But on Friday night, our coverage begins at 6:30 with A's pregame live. And then complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. So Masterson and Griffin. And then Amaldo Jimenez and Dan Straley on Saturday. And we'll have both those games for you, and we'll have that Sunday matchup as well. It'll be Cologne and the lefty Scott Kazmir. So that's what's coming up this weekend. It'll be a day game tomorrow here, but it'll be radio only. So bottom of the 10th inning, Donaldson to lead it off. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and small experts. Here's Lucas Harrell. 20 starts this year, so this is his 7th game out of the bullpen. The A's saw Lucas Harrell earlier this year. I think they knocked him around pretty good. Donaldson singled in the 2nd, lined out in the 5th, grounded out in the 7th. 3-1. So the fourth pitcher of the night for the Astros. Kevin Chapman, the left-hander, did a good job. 1 2/3 innings, nothing else. Popped up, could be playable. Corcoran coming over, and he's got just enough room right in front of the camera, and he's got it for out number 1. So that's got to be frustrating for a hitter. 3-1, you work yourself into the count, and you get a pitch and you pop it up. So 1 out, and that'll bring up Vogt.
The catcher, number 21, Stephen Vogt.
First pitch, good rip. Left side foul in amongst the spectators. 2 starts versus the A's this season. 0-2 with an ERA of 21.00. That one's driven towards center. Barnes on the move, and he's got it.
Well, Lucas Harrell was the starting pitcher in the game in which he had a perfect 1-2-3 first inning. And then with the dramatic shift for Seth Smith leading off the second, laid down the perfect bunt, never got out of the inning.
That's right.
6 runs later, and a very, very upset, infuriated pitcher stormed off the mound, and I mean, could have been a more perfect bunt. That opened up a 6-run inning. So he's then in the bullpen, and last pitch hit well by Vogt, but Barnes is tracking everything down.
First pitch to Young is foul back. Well, Young just missed a game-winning home run last night. Maybe he'll do it right here. 2-1 now to Chris, who has 10 home runs on the year. 0 for 3 tonight.
A couple of non-starters tonight, Jed Lowry and Coco Crisp. Jed getting the night off. Coco still nursing a hand injury. Can run, though.
Yes, he is available to pinch run.
Shot didn't hurt his foot,
No.
or his feet, or legs, or anything.
Nice strike call. Full count to Young. Sogard waiting in the on-deck circle. Young hits one high to left field. And that one is caught by Grossman.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Robbie Grossman timed it perfect. And if you're Chris Young,
Wow.
what can you do? Heck of a play by Grossman, and this game will roll on.
fly or even going to the top of the 11th because of this high fly ball. Looked like he'd hit a walk-off, but Grossman timed it perfectly, went up over the wall and brought it back, to the shock of everybody here, and especially Chris Young. That's how high he went to Robin. A high fly ball. Chris Young thought he'd got it. He said, I want to see the ball, and he showed it to him as he ran back in, and he had it. So in the glove of Grossman. I could not believe it, but a great play because it was high enough, and Grossman had a chance to get to the wall and jump straight up. He did not let the wall stop his jump and have the ball go over his head into a walk-off, but a great play by Grossman. And again, back-to-back nights, Chris Young robbed.
I feel for you, Chris.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's got to be thinking, are you kidding me?
That ball is so far out of here tomorrow with a day game. It's not even, it's way gone. But nighttime is so different, unfortunately. But Chris Young had to have thought he hit it well enough. But you have to give that man credit, and that's Grossman, because he played it perfectly, and that's what outfielders should do. Get back to the wall and jump straight up, not drift to the wall and jump and let the wall stop.
This is a pinch hitter, Jake Elmore, hitting off Doolittle. And 2 fastballs, 2 swings and misses by Elmore. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. 54th appearance for Doolittle. This one popped up just to our right and slightly above us. So Jake Elmore hitting for Brett Wallace. Altuve to follow. And then Carlos Corporate. Fastball way high. Couple of home runs for Elmore. He's getting some rips at Doolittle here.
Getting rips on fastballs that he's timing perfectly. Just foul him straight back.
So 1-2. Reach for that one. It was up and away. 95 miles an hour. So Balfour goes an inning, gives up a hit with a couple of strikeouts. And now it's Doolittle's turn. Popped up, and this one is, it's in our booth.
This way.
It's in our booth. Kira made the play. I think we should give it to a fan.
Be careful. Be careful.
That guy with the little kid. Perfect. You wouldn't let me fall out of the booth, would you, Ray?
Huh?
You wouldn't let me fall out of the booth, would you?
I'm glad you didn't come close, because I was not paying attention.
Thanks, Kira.
I was just hoping that the gentleman and the person you threw the ball to caught it.
Oh, yeah. Vogt gets rid of the mask, and he's got it, and that's out number 1. So Jake Elmore is spirited at bat, but it ends up with a foul out.
You know, the thing I noticed about the baseball that came in the booth, it was rubbed up nicely.
Yes, it was.
You know?
It wasn't here very long, but
I mean, here we are in the 11th inning, and
that's true.
Number 27.
You get a baseball in the booth, it's not a pearl, because that means somebody's rubbed up a lot of baseball.
That's right.
Something that Grant Balfour tried in Toronto, and Tim McClellan said, no, you can't do that. You can't put dirt on your hand and some moisture and start.
So he did it for him.
He did it for him. And the Wild tell him, would you hurry up and throw?
Yeah.
I'm going on vacation tomorrow.
He was, too.
He was. He wasn't there Monday.
Altuve is 1 for 4. Tough out here. The count now 1-1. Remember, it's not Castro in the on deck, so it's Carlos Corcoran, who's a switch hitter.
And Altuve also, you cannot underestimate his power, and he looks fastballs and had a mighty swing on a good fastball from Doolittle.
And that's a shot to left field, a base hit. Cespedes picks it up cleanly, and Altuve has his second hit.
They moved fastball inside, or at least that's where Vogt went, and that's how quickly Altuve turned on it.
22, Carlos Corcoran.
So Corcoran, switch hitter, his first at bat, as Castro in the 9th inning got the base hit, and then he was pinch run for. So Corcoran in the game. He got a home run against the A's this year. He hit that left-handed. Carter is in the on deck circle. And that one's hit to left, and that's hit a long ways. Cespedes is going back. He's at the wall, and it's off the top of the wall. And here comes Altuve, and they're waving him home. And he will score. And Corcoran now is going to be in a rundown. And he's eventually going to be tagged out. There's an umpire in the way. That's Angel Hernandez. And Corcoran is tagged out between second and third. But the go-ahead run scores. Carlos Corcoran almost pumped one out of here. So it's 2-1 Astros. And Carlos Corcoran is moving kind of slow. He's backup catcher.
Another fastball supposed to be inside, and he opened up like Altuve, and the left center, and ball was not played cleanly off the wall, and that contributed to Altuve being able to score. And there's the bobble by Chris Young, getting him back in, so no play at the plate. Chris, had he had it transfer okay, Altuve probably would have been held up at third.
Yeah, the third base coach, Dave Tremblay, really did a nice job, because as soon as he saw that juggle, he's kept waving him home. So Carlos Corcoran, his first at bat in the game, and it's a big one. Carter on a foul tip, and the count is now 1-2. In the bottom of the 11th, it'll be Sogard, Callaspo, and Fryman. Fryman's hitting in Seth Smith's spot. 1-2 pitch, hit high and foul. You saw how close that ball was to going out. It was about 2 feet away from going out, maybe less than that. Carter out in front of a slider. Fastball in on the hands. Rangers won tonight 5-4 over the Brewers in Arlington. That one got a piece of Stephen Vogt.
Midnight is fastball, foul ball, straight off the mask. Ball's been hit a few times.
So Angel Hernandez gives Vogt a little extra time. Cleans off home plate. See umpires do that as a courtesy to the catcher. Slider way inside. 2-2. the hero right now for the Astros. Swing and a miss, a changeup and a good one from Doolittle, but the Astros get a run. Carlos Corcoran with the RBI double. Bottom of the 11th coming up. Astros 2, A's 1. App for live baseball, available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers A's baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and much more. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit OaklandAthletics.com for details.
Number 28, Harry.
The A's now trailing 2-1, bottom of the 11th inning. And the new pitcher for the Astros is the right-hander Josh Fields. And it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and spawn expert. So Josh Fields has one save this year and a very high ERA. And Sogard rips one fair, headed for the right field corner. Hose grabs it, and Sogard has his second double. And just like that, the A's have the tying run at second base and nobody out.
This will be the third time the A's have had a runner at second, nobody out. Fastball again. Sogard, as he did his last at bat, jumped on the first pitch, fastball, ripped it down the right field corner. And that's where he stood back in the 8th inning and did not advance until he was thrown out at third base by Barnes. So at second again, and this time we'll try to be advanced and try to at least score 2-0 else to tie the game and hopefully do better. There's Cayespo, who tried to bunt him to third base in his last at bat.
So here's Cayespo, corner infielders in.
And with the shortstop VR close to second base, what he's doing essentially is trying to keep Sogard as close as possible if there's a bunt, especially one that Fields can handle. But Dominguez going back to third base, but again, if Cayespo's going to do it, he wants to bunt it, forcing the third baseman to make the play.
Yeah, and really, you got to have somebody holding the runner on at second, right?
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise he can do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
It really puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Well, exactly, but really, the hitter's the key, bunting to third base.
And it's bunted in the air, and the pitcher shooting off the mound, Josh Fields, grabs it. So Cayespo is retired, and that's out number 1. So Cayespo cannot get it down, and here's the pinch hitter Lowry.
The bad angle, the pitch was up, the angle was such that it was going to be a pop-up, and
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Cayespo with the ball in the air. And I guess you could say, fortunately, there it was not first and second. That would have been a triple play. Fastball didn't move.
So here's Lowry hitting for Fryman. Sogard the tying run. First pitch is a fastball high from Josh Fields.
And actually the pitch that Cayespo got was high and really not a great pitch unless you get the bat on top of the ball and make sure you put it on the ground.
Curve not close, 2-0. Josh Fields was a first-round draft pick of the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah. Not
that long ago, 2008. He never got to the big leagues with Seattle. 2-0 pitch. Fastball right there for a strike. He was traded to the Red Sox and then selected by these Astros in that Rule 5 draft, which means he's got to stay in the big leagues. And a lot of time on the disabled list this year. Another Rule 5 pick, Nate Fryman. And that one, Corcoran scrambles around to find it.
That was not textbook blocking, but he got the job done.
I think the Astros got a huge break.
He got a very big break. Backhand attempt by Corcoran. First of all, I think he's crossed up because when he went up and then the curveball down, so that's a pass because Sogard started because he did not know if Corcoran knew where the ball was. And when a catcher goes up with the catcher mitt and down, then really that's an emergency block, which he did a good job considering there was a cross up from somebody. So he's proven he can't throw the curveball for a strike. So I'd say you're looking for a fastball is a good idea.
And a fastball right on the outside corner, 94 miles an hour, and probably going to get another one.
Well, at least Jed Lowry's got a pretty good idea of what pitch he can throw for a strike. See with the left-handed batter how that's a strike. It's been that way all night.
Reddick in the on-deck circle. And it was a fastball, and it was on the outer half, and Lowry fouled it back. Now, Fields is the 5th pitcher of the night for the Astros. Cozart, Humber, Chapman, Harrell, and now Fields. Quick look to Sogard. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Lowry was about ready to head to first. And there's that outside corner again, the left-handed hitters.
It's not a strike to the right-handers, but it's amazing. With Angel Hernandez right zone to the left-handed batters with the pitch, which the angle. And here's what Tommy Cam shows. It's the same location, and really it's a ball off the plate. But he's been giving it to the left-hand hitter, well, to the pitcher with the left-handed hitter, but not the righties. And Jed Lowry had been in the clubhouse watching any of those. Probably should have known he was going to ring him up.
So now it's Reddick. Cespedes is the on-deck hitter. So the A's need a big 2-out hit here to keep this game going. Sogard led off this inning with a double, but Cayespo could not get him home on the pop out, and then Lowry on the strikeout. So here's Reddick. Reddick is 1 for 4. He had a single way back in the first inning. First pitch is right at the knees with a fastball. I think you're right, Ray. If he throws a breaking ball for a strike, you'd almost have to tip your cap because he has not shown that he can do that. In fact, his breaking balls have not even been that close.
Well, there's one over the head and one in the dirt. So it's just fastball right over the top and really kind of a four-seam fastball.
That one a bit high, 95 miles an hour. 1-1 the count. VR, the shortstop, playing right behind Sogard, trying to keep the tying run close. Fastball a little bit high, and now it's 2-1. Tense moments at the Coliseum here in the bottom of the 11th. Outfield just shifted slightly toward left center. That's Barnes. Not a lot.
The only way Fields would throw a curveball is if he's with first base open, not want to give in to Reddick with even Cespedes the on deck circle. He is a right-hand hitter.
And a good fastball there, and Reddick swings and misses.
Now he's got to go into the base hit mode with 2 strikes. This is a long swing. Couldn't catch up. Good fastball. A long swing. You got to shorten it and just try to get a base hit. Base hit. The outfield ties the game. Unless it's the outfield where Altuve is playing at second. That's in shallow right field.
Signs are set, and here's the 2-2 pitch to Reddick. High fastball, he struck him out, and that's the ball game. 95 miles an hour. And the Houston Astros win tonight in 11 innings by a final score of 2-1, and they have taken the first 2 games of this series here in Oakland. And he's now 2 back of the Texas Rangers in the AL West. So another disappointing night for the Athletics. Astros 2 and the A's 1, the final in 11 innings. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Henry Wolford and Pip Roberts starts right now.